Good morning everyone. Myself Patel ma'am from AGM College Kara. Today I am going to teach subject OCM for standard 12 standard. Okay, so we have started with the third chapter, that is entrepreneurship development. In this chapter, the last point which I teach to you was the process of the entrepreneurship development. You remember the process of the entrepreneurship development was divided into how many parts? 3. Okay, the first one was training, the second one was entrepreneurship development programs, and the third one was what? Okay, no, sorry, 2 it was there. The first one was training and the second one was entrepreneurship development program, objectives and all we have seen into details. Okay, now we will go for next one, for this one, which is what in the last topic of the chapter, that is recent initiatives in the entrepreneurship development. So okay, the last section of the chapter has been come. In this chapter, in this point, we will come to know the various types of government initiative, how are they for the development of the entrepreneurship development, how more and more the government give boost to all of the common people also to come and enter into the part of entrepreneurship. All these things are there. So what are the recent initiatives we are going to see today in the entrepreneurship development? Okay, what are the recent initiatives? Government has started so many schemes that we don't know only. So these schemes are to come to know to all the people and what benefit the government are giving to all the entrepreneurs. All this thing you will come to know over here. So the first point which I am going to teach you today is the Start Up India. Start Up India. Start Up India, first we will see meaning. Okay, then objectives. Okay, let's see Startup India and Stand Up India. Like this, two big initiative has been took by the government, which is playing a very important role in the total life of the entrepreneurs. Stand Up India, that means how the common entrepreneurs are going to stand. And for startup, the name itself says what? Entrepreneur always need what? Finance. So at that time, you always think what? How to start the business. So that only initiative is took by the Startup India project, which has been propounded by the government of India. Let's start. Meaning a startup is defined as an entity having its headquarter in India. Okay, as I said, you government only have been started it, which are open, was open less than 10 years ago and has an annual turnover of less than rupees 100 crores. When it was open last 10 years, that means take around about 2010, 20 is going on. So 10 years ago, Startup India was been started and the turnover is less than 100 crores. Under this initiative, the government has already launched an I-Made program, okay, to help India entrepreneurs to build 10 lakh over here mobile app startups. So various types of startups have been started over here, okay, like not only related to mobile but other things also. So government have what? Government have made a program, launched a program to help the various types of Indian entrepreneur like to build the 10 lakh mobile app startup, to start up what? Various types of mobile app into our country only. This is done by the Mudras Bank scheme, that is Pradhan Mantri Mudra Yojana. You must have heard this Pradhan Mantri Mudra Yojana, which is under the Mudra Bank scheme. Okay, it is an initiative. What is Pradhan Mantri Yojana? What is this? Mudra Yojana. This is a initiative by Indian government who aims to provide microfinance, low interest rate loans to entrepreneurs, those who are from low socio-economic background. See, this is the most important part of this point. Okay, what is the Mudra scheme? According to Pradhan Mantri Mudra scheme or Yojana, what is that? Its aim is what? What is the main aim? The main aim of this is what? to aim is to provide finance, microfinance, not very big, microfinance to whom? To low socio-economic entrepreneurs are there, those who want to start their business but they don't know from where to take because they are not a government servant, that immediately nationalized bank is going to give to them by just showing a slip of the salary slip. No. So just like that, those who are in a low socio-economic background, to those people government are going to give the various type of the scheme, like to them microfinance are going to give to them at the low interest rate. Whatever they give the loan, that loan will be at a very low interest rate. Okay, this is the main aim of Mudra Bank scheme, or you may say Pradhan Mantri Mudra Yojana. Yojana means scheme only. One of the objective of Indian government is to make India a nation of job creator instead of job seeker. Very important is this. What you create your own job. You don't seek for others. That means I see so many students are also like this, or so many people are well qualified but they don't get a job. Okay, your employment opportunity are less created. So that's why the government is telling what you do. You make yourself a job creator, not a job seeker. Seeker means what? Those who are searching a job. No, create your own job. And when you start something, 100 people are going to come besides you. That means you are giving a job employment opportunity to others also. Okay, so government main initiative is what? The common people should start their own field, should start up their own business and be a job creator but not a job seeker. Okay, thus the government always wants to encourage entrepreneurship and to promote innovation. Government, as I said you so many times before also in this chapter, government is also initiating all these things. Government is going to boost up more and more entrepreneurship. Okay, it is going to promote those who are innovating new things, those who want to start up their business, etc. It aims at creating such an economic ecosystem which will be conducive for the growth of startups in India. You want to become such a growth one. Okay, Startup India is an initiative of the government of India. Okay, it was launched in 2016. Okay, it is when it was launched 2016, but they said 10 years ago. It's okay. Okay, 2016 it was launched 16. It aims at building an ecosystem which will nurture startups in the country. You want to make such an ecosystem where any of the person, those who want to start any of the form of a business, immediately can start by getting some or the another microfinance with a very low interest rate. Okay, so always sustainable economic growth and large scale employment opportunities can be generated. When this can be there, many people are going to start their own business. With the help of them, other people can get the employment opportunity, and more sustainable economic growth can also be there. Thus the government of India has announced Startup India Action Plan that focuses on the following areas. So this Startup India Action Plan, which is propounded by the government of India in the 2016, have focuses on 3 points. First is simplification and handholding. Second is funding support and initiative, and third is industry, academia, partnership and incubation. Number one is what? Simplification and handholding. Means here compliance procedure for startup will be made easy. Now you know, to start up anything, a long lengthy procedures are there for registration and all, where more and more you have to spend money. No. Very simple process to start up. Okay, and so to start anything, it will be made easy. Similarly, if you wind up, it will be on a fast track basis. That means to start also any form of a business, it will be in a very simple way of doing registration and all. And when you want to wind up your business, that means when you want to close down your business, at that time also on the fast track basis, means on very fast it can be closed also. Number one, simplification and hand holding. Number two is funding support and initiative. Of course, yes, The Mudra scheme is for funding also microfinance. So in the second point, government will participate in funding process indirectly, as well as tax exemptions will be allowed in capital gain, income tax, etc. Now second point is what? Second point is to give the capital as in the form of the microfinance with a very low interest rate. Okay, so government always support indirectly. How? Like I'll tell you, income tax is very less, tax exemption is there in many ways to the entrepreneurs, and capital gain, all this thing very less important, very less form of tax is being provided by the entrepreneur to the government because exemption is there. Number 2. Number 3 is industry academia partnership and incubation. In the third point, under this initiative, government is processing to introduce startup feast to provide pre-incubation training, to set up incubators with the help of the private sectors, to launch innovation focused program for students and so on. So not only the common like middle-aged people or the person those who are having finance, to them only it is given. It is given to everyone. It is given to the common students also, those who are getting education. Okay, to them also various types of initiative programs have been started, trainings are given. How more and more from our country, okay, more and more entrepreneurs will come, okay, who are going to make a job creators should be there. So it is focuses on to the action plan, which is divided into 3 parts, which I said you right now. Got it? Okay, let's see the next point. The next point in this is the objectives. What are the objectives of the Startup India program initiated by the government of India? Objectives are in a very big part. Let's see further. Objectives of entrepreneurship development program under Startup and Stand Up India is same. Are you getting? Startup and stand up objective is same. So that's why I should first teach startup. I already teach you Startup India, meaning how it focuses on 3 plan, yes or no. Then now objectives of startup and stand up is going to be same. Okay, are you getting? For that I should say you first Stand Up India. Okay, second one we will see as Stand Up India. Stand Up India again is an initiative, okay, by the government of India only. So first I will teach you this. Okay, then we will move to objective, because they have given in the textbook the objectives of Startup India and Stand Up India is same only. So that's why at the end also if I teach you it's okay. Okay, now Stand Up India scheme is for financing SC, ST or women entrepreneurs. Now this Stand Up India was for the common one, everyone, every caste, creed, religion, okay, male, female, everyone. It was allowed. Okay, but Stand Up India is initially for who? Financing SC, carefully listen, or ST and or for women entrepreneurs. So more is given to SC, ST category and to the women entrepreneur. Okay. Now see, the objective of Stand Up India scheme is to facilitate bank loan between rupees 10 lakh and to rupees 1 crore to at least one scheduled caste. One scheduled caste means SC. So main important point is what? It may be SC category or ST category. Okay, 10 lakh, that means 10 lakh to 1 crore loan can be provided either to SC or ST scheduled tribe borrower or at least one woman borrower per bank branch for setting up a greenfield enterprise. That means when you are related with the farming etc. at that time, either you are SC or you are ST or you are women enterprise, it is compulsory for per bank branch for setting up the green. That means every branch should give loan from 10 lakh to 1 crore for any SC, ST or women entrepreneur. Are you getting? In case of non-individual enterprises, at least 51% of the shareholding and controlling stake should be held by either ST or women entrepreneur. Okay, so that was the main part of Stand Up India. Stand Up India scheme is for financing SC or ST or women entrepreneur, any one of them, or all also can be there, related to the bank branch. Now what is the eligibility? Now common eligibility is, what means rules should be, what rules are there? Example, first you should be what? Above 18 years. Either you are SC, ST or women, you should be above 18 years. Second, loans under schemes are available only to greenfield, that means related to farming, etc. That is first time venture of the beneficiary in the manufacturing or servicing or trading. Number 3 is in case of non-individual, 51% of shareholding and controlling stake should be held by SC or ST. 3 eligibility is said, that is very common. Now what the nature of loan is there? Composite loan including of term loan and working capital should be between rupees 10 to 1 crore lakh. Okay, so it may be 1 to 10 lakh to 1 crore. Now what purpose of loan is this? For setting up a new enterprise in manufacturing, trading or services sector, SC, ST, women, it should be there. It should be either ST, SC or it should be a woman entrepreneur of any caste. Then size of a loan, it is said composite loan of 75% of the project cost inclusive of term loan and working capital. However, it will not be applicable if the borrower contribution along with the convergence support for any other should exceed 25% of the project. So it is the size of the loan is related to the 75% but should not exceed 25% of the project cost. Now what interest rate is there? Interest rate would be lowest applicable rate of the bank of that category. The most lowest rating category not to exceed base rate MCLR plus 3% plus tenor premium. That means related to 3 and somewhat above. Number security is given. Beside primary security, the loan may be secured by collateral security or guarantee of credit rating fund scheme for Stand Up India loan as decided by the bank. So security is also there. Repayment, the loan is repayable in 7 years with a maximum moratorium period of 18 months. That means 7 years or 18 months moratorium is given. Then working capital and margin money. For withdrawal of working capital up to 10 lakh, it may be sanctioned by the way of overdraft, okay, or by overdraft 10 lakh and RuPay debit card to be issued for convenience of the borrower, okay. Working capital limit about 10 lakh to be sanctioned in the way of cash credit. Then the margin, it is said the scheme envisages 25% of margin money which can be provided with eligible central or state scheme. That is what this is the various types of what eligibility process and all, repayment, when it should be there, 7 year, what is the scheme or what rate is there. For stand up it is given. Got it everyone? Yes or no? So 2 big initiatives put forth by government. First is what? Startup, which is common for everyone, and next is stand up, which is there basically for SC, ST category or women entrepreneur. It goes for the limit from 10 lakh to 1 crores. Okay, 10 lakh to 1 crore. But eligibility process is there, nature, purpose, everything is there. Got it everyone? That was meaning. First I said about stand up and startup. Next I'll tell you objective of start and stand up India together. Startup India and Stand Up India together. Let's see, rupees 10,000 crore startup funding pool. How much it is said? 10,000 crore. Number 2, reduction in payment registration fee. That means here patent registration is there, then reduction is there. Number 2, improved bankruptcy code to ensure a 90 days exit window. Okay, so if you are bankrupt and all, at that time 90 days again allowances are given. For freedom from mystifying inspections for first 3 years of operations. That means first 3 year operation inspection will not be there, mystifying. 5, freedom from capital gain tax for first 3 years of operation. First 3 years no taxes. Freedom is there. Gain taxes or capital gain taxes is not there. Number 6, freedom from tax for first 3 years of operation. No capital gain tax, no tax. first 3 years. Self-glorifying compliance means you have to do so many things to doing diversification, expansion, etc. To target 5 lakh school and involve 10 lakh children in innovation related program. That means under Startup and Stand Up India, you have to take various types of 5 lakh school, and government is taking this. This is the target of government, to undertake 5 lakh school and 10 lakh children, who is going to show the innovation related program you are going to show, and they will boost up their energy in the innovation. Encouraging entrepreneurship within the country. How more and more entrepreneurship will be there in our country, it will be in that part. Promote India across the world as a startup hub. Okay, hub means the place where it has been started initially. Okay, so you have to promote India across the world. Not only the startup and stand up project should be there within the country, it should go across the country also. And last is to build startup oasis at Rajasthan Incubation Center. You have to build incubation center in Rajasthan. This is the target objective of government, to start the startup and stand up India. The targets are put by the government, but the main important point is what? To those who are low socio-economic background, okay, to them to give microfinance at a very low common rate interest. The main objective is this only. Those one who have less finance, to provide finance at a low interest, all this thing. You must have seen over here so many conveniences, advantages the government have given to the entrepreneur. Exemption from taxes from first 3 years, inspection, capital gain tax, income tax is not there, and then to the government is providing various types of the support to the common entrepreneurs also. That was the recent initiatives of the government for the entrepreneurship development. First one was Startup India, which I said to you, meaning. Then Stand Up India, meaning, and so many other part was also there, and the objective of startup as well as Stand Up India together. Got it, everyone? Yes or no? That was it. The third point over here is what? Agro-tourism. And the fourth point is entrepreneurs, and we are going to end up the chapter. Recent initiative also come into the agro-tourism. Agro-tourism is also now the third point, which is again plays a very, very important point. The third one is agro-tourism. Now what is agro-tourism? Agro-tourism is what? Agro-tourism is what? First we will see meaning, definition, and further we will see. It has increasingly mechanized world. Many people have lost touch with how their food is produced or the region where it is originated. That means in today's world, okay, we have lost the touch with the farm, with the field, with the cultivations, from where the foods are produced. You don't know this thing. Yes or no? So this is what? This is the touch. Okay, this is a touch, common one, where like those who are living, those who are living in the cities, in the urban areas, they don't know what has been done in the rural area, how farming is done, how in the green field cultivations are done, how the foods are produced. All these things are not known. So you, as a part, I'll say as a part of an entertainment or as a part of a knowledge, etc., agro-tourism have been started, and it is boosted more in a state of Maharashtra. Okay, so agro-tourism offer tourists a chance to reconnect with the land and provide a hands-off experience with the local foods. Okay, so common people, those who are living in urban area, they are very fond of the food which is produced in the field, how it is produced, etc. So to them a hand of experience are going to be done. Agro-tourism activity include picking fruits, tending bees, milking cows, and other educational pursuits. So common people, like those who are very fond of how milking cows are done or other things are done, they don't know how it is done. So on that basis, more and more how to like trees are there, from that how to pick up the fruit, all this thing as a part of an enjoyment only. Okay, as a part of an enjoyment, as a part of an educational, I will say. Okay, as a part to know how you are touched with the field, etc. All these things are there. This is the basic part of agro-tourism. It focuses on travel that is empowering to the local communities, both socially, economically, recognizing the need to diversify their farm products and supplement their agricultural income. Many farmers consider agro-tourism as one of the income option for the long-term sustainability of their farm. Agri-tourism, or you may say agro also, can support agriculture economy when local producer can no longer compete economically. Now, common one, many farmers are thinking like agro-tourism should be there, because why? See, you know very well, farmer plays a very important role in our economic development. They are the pillars. Why? Because everything we cannot eat up till it is not produced in the farm. Yes or no? Take an example: wheat, jowar, bajra. So many things are there. Up till it is not produced in the farm, can we eat? No. So they plays a very, very important role in our life also. Common people life also. Urban people, those we are living in the urban area, we are very fond in to go to the rural areas to see how the farming are done, how we are going to pick the fruits, how very climatic, also many like greenery is there, good climate conditions, all these things we are very fond of. Okay, so it boosts for the part of the income level to the farmer also. So it plays such an important role that for us also we have the enjoyment, we entertainment, educational part, okay, touch to the land, etc. All these things we get, and farming which is done by them. Farmers also get some or the another part of the economic help to them also. Yes or no? Okay, that was the meaning. Then definition is given, 3 definition is given. First is given by Thomas Jefferson. Thomas Jefferson says what? Thomas says the small landholder are the most precious part of a state. I agree with that. He says so. Thomas says so touchy part. He says a small landholder are the most precious part of the state. A small landholder who is doing farming, who is doing the cultivation of land, plays so important role that they are the what? They are said as a precious part of our state. Correct. According to definition, one more is given. It's not given by whom, directly it is given. Agro-tourism is the idea of bringing urban resident to rural area for leisure travel and spending. Yeah, it's also true. Agro-tourism means what? Those who live in urban area, they come in rural area and they travel first of all, and they feel enjoyment, they pursue it, their happiness, and spending what time in the fields, etc. Number 2. One more definition is given. Agro-tourism is a commercial enterprise at a working farm, ranch or agriculture plan conducted for the environment of visitors that generates supplement income for the owner. Yes, of course. This is also true, because why? Farmers are doing what? Farmers are cultivating their land, but that income is not sufficient. When agro-tourism will be there, at that time with the help of agro-tourism, the income level also can be increased. So to them also it is beneficial. Okay, that was the meaning which I said. Now I said 3 definitions. Further, agro-tourism in Maharashtra. Now what is agro-tourism in Maharashtra? So the state of Maharashtra is a pioneer state to develop and promote agro-tourism in the country. Yes or no? Now only I said you, Maharashtra plays a very, very important role as a part of agro-tourism. Why? Because with these part over here, agri-tourism or agro-tourism, as it is defined most broadly, involves any agriculturally based operation or activity that bring visitor to the farm. Common visitor, those who are living in urban area, when they come over here, they also feel happy, they also enjoy spending time into the field, etc. as a part of agriculture. So always agriculture is a form of niche of tourism that is considered a growth industry in many parts of the world, including India, Australia, Canada, US and Philippines. Philippines are there, then US is there, India, Australia, Canada, all is related with this. So agro-tourism in Maharashtra also plays a very vital role. So today we all have seen Startup India, Stand Up India, agro-tourism or agri-tourism, and only some part of this, and last point, entrepreneurs are left, that I'll teach you in next lecture and I'll complete it. Okay, enough for today. Thank you.